Hey there, everybody. This is Silk. We're doing Operation View to a Kill. This is America Turn 19. Little bit of cleanup here, things we got to do. Couple things. Start with this militia here. We did check, kind of verified that the supposition that I was working under in Global War Enthusiast, that this militia was stuck here, that once he got here, he had to stay. So that part was accurate. He does have to stay. However, it's kind of an interesting part where Hong Kong is Chinese home country, and it still also is FEC original. So it has to go back to FEC, which we did. But this militia can leave on his next turn. He can walk out because it's home country, and he can move from Hong Kong to Kwangtung. We did roll for this destroyer here. It unfortunately did not flip British. It just got scuttled. And then it might be a little bit harder to see here. So I did a strategic naval move here with a transport and attack transport, and just totally forgot I even did it. I had bombed this shipyard way back when because I knew I was going to use it, and I wanted to try to lock the boats that were in there at the time. So it does have 2 damage on it, so it's not eligible for a strategic naval move. So these guys are actually going to be here in Cochin China instead. Not a huge change, but definitely a relevant one. Let's see what else we got. Japan did a raid here off of Hawaii for $1, but Philippines is closed out, so that's not an eligible raiding target. Bruce wants to move that guy somewhere, that's fine. I'm kind of guessing he's using it to mess with our ability to strategic naval move too. He's kind of being a bit of a jerk, that sub. I think that is all of our cleanups. So normally we get tech rolls. I actually already did tech rolls via our electronic system, just because the turns were getting separated and made my life a little easier separating them. So America did succeed on only 2. We got level 1 of airborne doctrine because we had nothing else to do. And we got to stage, I think it's 2 for logistics. Failed everything else, including the almighty rockets roll, which just is a problem. We're just desperately trying to hit that there. We totally need that point and just start getting it. But life is what it is. All right, so for our buy, we've got 82. Hopefully I can get all this in here. Hopefully this is going to make sense. This is just advancing. That heavy battleship is going to advance to stage 2. We're going to get 2 jets, so that's 6, 12, and 12. So that's 30. We're going to lend-lease a transport to the FEC. We're going to buy and advance artillery, so that's 10, so that's a total of 40. We're going to get a attack transport for ourselves. This is a militia upgrade, so that's another 10. This is a lend-leased KMT armor with a marine, so that's another 10. And then 3 submarines is 15, and a heavy armor is 7. And that should be 82. Should be 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, and 7, 82. All right, let's get to work here. Hopefully I can do all this correctly. I kind of worked it out for all the guys, kind of showing all the various scramble options and all sorts of things. And I have to make sure I can actually manage to do it on the screen here. So the important parts, most of the ships that are here in P-36, it's this main fleet here. It's a heavy battleship, 4 battleships, 2 of which are damaged, 5 heavy cruisers, a carrier. I'm going to put the fighter off the carrier for now, just so that it can, because it's going to move separately. The carrier, I then have 5 destroyers, 4 light cruisers. So all of those come here because of some of the shenanigans we're doing here. In addition, I've got 4 subs here from P-34 and 1, 2, 3, both subs from Wake. So that gets me to 6 submarines. All 6 of those submarines are raiding here in P32. I've then got a submarine here in P43. He's going to go raiding up here in P14. I've got a destroyer. Oh, one of my destroyers. Sorry, I had broken them off. So one of the destroyers that I had here, it's 1, 2, 3, and he goes one more space. He comes here into P14. So it's 4 destroyers in P32, 1 destroyer in P14. 1, 2. Oh, that was this guy. Never mind. We'll get to him in a minute. I thought I had enough destroyers. Okay, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now all of the planes coming from here, Caroline Islands here. I've got heavy bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4 heavy bomber and a fighter escorting. We're going to bomb that port. I then have a tactical coming from Caroline. It's going to port strike those transports. I then have a jet coming from Caroline and a jet coming from Marshall. They're joining that port strike. So it's 2 jets and a tactical. We then have the fighter off the carrier, right? 1, 2. Nope, he can't make it. Which fighter was it? It's the fighter that was on the carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's here in P14. He has 1 movement left, so he'll be able to land on the carrier. And then, 2 jets, fighter, and the tactical. The tactical is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the tactical has 1 movement left. The other carrier that is here in Marshall, it's going to join that fleet in P32, so it can catch some planes. And then I still have 1 fighter left that's starting on Wake. Don't know that it has anything to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could go into Formosa, presuming that I can land a plane in Hunan. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the fighter can make it. Yeah, good. All right, last thing is the medium bomber from Caroline is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also hanging out here. What we're trying to do is keep these transports from being able to come out here. If they do try to come into P14, this fighter could have scrambled to defend them. We're trying to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's why I've got a destroyer, a fighter, and a medium bomber ready to fight that fighter if it tried to scramble. All right, now we got to launch our amphib attacks. So from Caroline, we've got a Marine and a medium armor. And we're just going to go 1 to P43, 2 to P42, and then we're going to go into P41 here. And we actually split. We're going to drop the medium armor off into Formosa, and the Marine is going to walk into northern Philippines, whatever the heck that's called. Meanwhile, the attack transport that's in P36 takes the Marine and the Mountain, and they just go 1 to P45, 2 to P43. They come into P32, and they drop off the Marine and the Mountain into Formosa. We'll then have 3 bombards going into Formosa. That'll be our heavy battleship and the 2 undamaged battleships. We're then going to engage that destroyer with the 2 undamaged battleships, the 5 heavy cruisers. What do I have left? 4 DDs and 4 light cruisers are all going to fight that lone destroyer. That's a non-combat movement with that destroyer, non-combat movement with those subs, non-combat movement with those guys. So I believe that is all of that combat movement. All right. Don't think I have any combats anywhere else in the world. Because they're going to fly. Don't want to fight those fighters. Oh, I do have a map. That's what I could do. I could do a map fight. I believe. All right, it's way over here. There's 2 Italian coastal submarines here in M4, and this fighter's just going to come over and try to kill one of them. That's a non-combat move. That's a non-combat move. Stuff up there is non-combat moves. All right, that's it. Okay, so let's give you guys some dice here and see what we can do. Okay, let's go ahead and start with that fighter, just because it's the first thing. It just hits on a 6. It rolls a 9. It missed because I can't kill submarines. No, of course not. So it just flies back to Tunisia. It's done. Let's see what else we got. All right, should be my bombing run. So once they worked it out, kind of as expected, the planes basically don't. The Japanese planes just don't participate. They don't want to risk dying. So there's no intercept and there's no scrambling, and they're not defending against port strike because they just don't want to die. So we'll start with the bombing raid. That comes from the heavy bomber. It just sneaks in, does its 5 damage. 2 plus 3. That is all I needed. I was going to be really sad if that was a 4. So the fun part is that turns off the AAA for the port now. So that solves that. The fighter there doesn't have anything to do. So now, moment of truth. And I keep Hambone's heavy bomber alive. Need anything but a 1, 2, or 3. Woo! Just skated by there, Hambone. Congratulations. Not all the American bombers have to die. So yay for that. Doesn't scramble there. I've got a port strike. I got 2 jets at 8. I've got a tactical at 7. Just looking for 2 hits here. 4, 5, 10. So both jets hit. We are happy with that result. As we send both of the transports and explode in a burning fire. Okay. Attack into Formosa. I've got 3 bombards. 1 is with a heavy battleship at 5. 2 are with regular battleships at 4. Just looking for 1 hit. There we go. Man, but Great Britain turns could be this easy. Stuff actually works. Who knew? So we take that unopposed, or undamaged, I guess. We just bombard the Marine to death. Oh, I gotta fight that destroyer too. I presume the destroyer is going to come out and scramble. If he stays, he just probably dies, and there's a chance the U.S. will get him. So I just have to imagine he comes out and fights me. Just while I'm at it right now, that the U.S. is going to actually keep Formosa. We're not going to give it back to KMT unless for some reason we have to. But I don't think since it's not originally held, I don't think we have to. I think the U.S. gets to keep it. And the U.S. wants the $2 because triumph of capitalism is a thing. So the U.S. will attempt to keep Formosa so long as it's allowed to do that. If you want to check on that for me, GWE, that'd be great. That port destroyer. So we've got, let's start with the heavy cruisers. I think I got 5 of them. 5 heavy cruisers looking for 6. 2 hits. So we get the destroyer. He's got, I got rating too. He's got 1 destroyer at a 4. And he rolled a 5. Jeez. Tell ya. Apparently I need to play America, not Britain. Dice can't hate you all the time. That's a thing. So that guy's going. So I make my mess here. Alright, I've got 7 submarines rating. Unfortunately, Japan unlocked radar just this turn. So all of these die rolls are going to be straight up. I've got 6 of them in one sea zone and just 1 of them against the other line. Right? Yeah. So here we go. All right, so the first line was 6 subs. The red will be the attacker. The blue will be the defender. Well, that's a good start. 6 to 3. So that's 3 damage. Only do 2 more. 3 to 6. So that's 0 damage. You guys see this? Not really. A better way of doing that. I wonder if I can zoom in a little closer. It's just hard to see these guys, I can tell. Kind of. That's a little better. Pull it out just a touch. All right. So round 2 fails 3 to 6. Round 3 succeeds 3 to 1. So that should be my 5 when we max out. We'll do the others though, just in case. 4 to 1. There's another one that hits for 3. 6 to 5. That hits for 1. Last one is a 2 to 5. That fails. So the 6 subs do the 5 damage. So yay for that. And then the 1 sub by himself, trying to do the other line here, does nothing. There's a roll box card, 6 to 6. So 5 damage to Japan on one line, but 0 on the other. And then I should be able to just go to non-coms. We got everything else done that we needed to get done. So, all right. Let's just real quick and easy here. This heavy bomber flies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Maharashtra. Kind of want to be able to go with a couple of different spots depending on what we need. The fighter came back to Tunisia. That all stays. Let's do stuff up here. So the transport here off of Ireland is going to take infantry out of, we'll take the one out of South England. And the advanced artillery, they come down 1, 2, 3 into Portugal. Drop off the advanced artillery and the infantry there. American medium bomber flies from northern Norway back to northern England. from Norland, we're going to move over medium armor, heavy armor, infantry, I guess, so 2 infantry. And we'll add the Marine while we're at it. We need to get a card for that. That's going to become a little messy. The infantry here in Gotland just walks up to Norland, and the air transport that's in northern England just flies over, drops off a infantry in Gotland, and flies back. Actually, you can fly straight there if I want him to. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we have LRA. He'll just drop him straight off in Gotland. Save us, or Norland, sorry. So the infantry from northern England via air transport goes to Norland. And then we can do our placements. Do I need to rail anything else? We will rail this infantry from London to northern England, and I'm going to move both artillery into London. That poor guy died. All right. As for placements, we'll do that while we're over here. Using Triumph of Capitalism, 1 jet is going to get placed in northern England. Using just the factory, heavy armor gets placed at Norland. And then we've got a couple different supply path routes. So we're going to place a militia and a militia upgrade, also in Norland, which is just an infantry. So Gotland is at militia. Norland is 3 infantry, mountain, heavy armor, militia. And then in, what the heck is this, Lapland? Lapland is 2 infantry, marine, medium armor, heavy armor, along with 3 British infantry and 2 British medium armor. Let's see if we can draw some attention from the Soviets there. That's kind of what we're aiming to do. Meanwhile, in England proper, we're kind of starting to run out of dudes. We've just got the infantry. There's a plane. What happened to my plane? I've got a plane here. There he is. I accidentally put him with the German stuff. We've got a medium bomber, American transport plane, 1 infantry, 1 jet, are all the American units. And then I've got 2 artillery in London. And then British-wise, I've got, 3 infantry, medium armor, 2 transports in Northern Ireland. And then London itself is 5 militia, 2 AAA, and a British mountain. All right. In Portugal, we can do our placement down here. We've got to place 2 submarines. So 2 submarines go down. We then have 2 infantry, marine, advanced artillery, regular artillery, heavy armor, militia, 2 regular transports, 1 attack transport, 2 submarines in A-35, and then that main fleet that's in A-44 is basically this. 2 battleships, 5 destroyers, heavy cruiser, light carrier, fighter, 5 submarines, 2 coastal submarines. Over in Tunisia, I've got a fighter, a marine, 2 American infantry, and I think 5 British infantry. and a militia. Maharashtra has got the heavy bomber. That's where the Lend-Lease is going. So that's where the FEC get their transport. Which I probably don't need to put in port. We'll put him there. Now we get to the east. All right, non-combat moves. This artillery here in Singapore rails up to Hunan. The tactical bomber that was in part of that port strike, it lands in Hunan. The 2 jets and the 2 fighters land on the carriers. One here and one here. And then we have one other fighter, one that was doing the escorting. He also lands in Hunan. And heavy bomber, I think, goes to Guangdong. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh, he's got tons of movement. 4, 5. So he's actually, I bet, going to go to Siam just for options available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can't go to Siam. I may not want him that high up, though. We'll put him in Guangdong with the Chinese forces there. All right, now we got some ships to move. Other ships, as it were. All right, 2 coastal subs in P-36 go to P-35. One of the submarines, actually probably both of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of the submarines in P-22 come down to P-43 for Guam. Destroyer in P-47, this guy here. He could go with the main fleet. Don't think I need to put him. Safe anywhere? I think so. I think he's just going to go with the main fleet. 1, 2, 3. So he joins the main fleet in P, is that 32? P-32. So that gets me back to 5 destroyers in P-32. And this want the planes to get to kill him. Come down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to port here. Using our strategic naval move, this attack transport, the advanced artillery, and the infantry all come down to Caroline as well. He'll also go into port. And the jet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can get to Wake. can get to Marshall. I think I'm going to put him in Marshall. So the jet from San Francisco flies to Marshall. That's actually where we're going to put that destroyer instead. Sorry. 2, 3. I might put everybody there. Just to be a little bit safer. I think so. So instead of moving to Caroline, we'll move to Marshall. A little bit further away. So we've got jet, advanced artillery, infantry, and then a attack transport in port, and a destroyer that we'll put in port. And we got to place all our stuff over here. So this guy advances to stage 2. Let's see what else we got. Submarine goes in P22. The medium armor for the KMT goes in Kwangtung. The other jet goes in San Francisco, along with the Marine and the advanced artillery. And the attack transport goes in port, also in San Francisco. All right. So, Formosa is a mountain medium armor. Northern Philippines is just a Marine. In Hunan, I've got a American artillery, American fighter, American tactical, and then a Chinese militia, 2 infantry. Oh, it's Chinese Marine, not American Marine. Chinese Marine, 2 Chinese infantry, Chinese militia, Chinese AAA, American artillery, American fighter, American tactical. The main fleet in P-32 is 6 submarines, heavy battleship, 2 battleships, 2 damaged battleships, 5 heavy cruisers, plus all this stuff. 2 carriers, 2 jets, 2 fighters, 5 destroyers, 4 light cruisers. In P-14, I've got a submarine and a destroyer. Medium bomber's got to land somewhere. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. Medium bomber is in Hunan. 2 coastal subs in P-35, 2 fleet subs in P-43, 1 fleet sub in P-22, P-47's a destroyer, a attack transport, both in port, then a jet, infantry, advanced artillery in Marshall, and then we've got a submarine off of Midway, and then a attack transport off of San Francisco with a jet, a Marine, and a advanced artillery. And I think that is everything for the Americans here. Sorry for the changes, just kind of didn't get anything to work exactly the way I wanted, but pretty close. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll probably get a recap video out to you guys either tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll see how it goes. Everybody enjoy your weekend and take care.